So greetings up, Coach Very, continuing to session 3 of the day that I've styled the money lessons for entrepreneurs. You understand that entrepreneurship entails handling a lot of money. That is, if you manage to do it very well. So you also need to know how do you handle money in business, which is a very important aspect to be known and learned. Entrepreneurs need money at the beginning of their journey in order to get more money in the entrepreneurship journey. What differentiates the successful ones from those that are not successful at times is the way they view money. I have talked about factors that affect entrepreneurship in my earlier sessions, and in this session I'm now focusing on this more sensitive issue in business, that is money. Some entrepreneurship endeavors flop before they even stretch their wings into the air, simply because of failure to understand how money works. So I've got certain important points that I'm going to highlight and explain that can help you as an entrepreneur to handle money well. So the first one is money amplifies who you are. I once said in one of my sessions that entrepreneurship is a mindset. A person's attitude and behavior towards money determines how far they will go in business. If you are investment centered and you get money, you invest. When extravagant people get money, they spend it. The more an investor gets, the more they invest it. What you do when you get a lot of money is a result of what you have always been. So the first thing is to graduate from the school of money before you get it. Research more about it before it lands into your hands. That is very important. Quite a number have been given loans to start their businesses. They tried to behave for the first time or the first 2 or 3 months, but they ended up squandering even the principal component of it. The second point that you have to note is if you take good care of it, that is money, it will take good care of you. Money knows the hands of a hard worker. Use it wisely and you always have it. Allow it to grow, water, weed, prune, and fertilize it, and it will indeed pay back. Unlike ideas and other things in business, money is a handle with care object. At times money looks at you and tells others that we are in the wrong hands, so let's find some way out. Powerful. If you could hear how money describes your attitude towards it before it decides not to associate with you, you would quickly change your attitude for the better. With the right attitude, virtually anyone, can make big money. Money knows you better than anyone else. The third point that I want to share with you is invest before you spend. Most people are inclined to spending money than investing it, possibly because it's easier to spend than to invest. So entrepreneurship is first investment and then spending minimally, though on a need basis. A lot of planning is needed before you dispatch money. Ask yourself powerful questions about what you want to do with the money. Does that use have a payback period? Is it going towards startup resources or restocking? Is it going towards continuous development to better the business? Ask yourself questions. Even when the business has outgrown the crawling stage, there is every need to plow back for business growth. Invest before you spend. The fourth point is business money is not yours. This is a very powerful point that a lot of people miss in business. I've seen a number of enterprises failing due to failure to distinguish between business and personal funds. Once the money is invested in the business, it changes its surname. It's no longer yours. Under normal circumstances, it's now in the hands of the business and the managers who manages the business. It calls for a lot of self-discipline to master this, because at times we spend 2 to 3 years being the owner and the manager at the same time. There are high temptations to use business money for personal expenses. I know quite a lot of people are touched by this one. One may ask, so how can I survive without money? If your business is anything to talk about, you need to have a fixed salary for your personal expenses. That has turned difficult to many people. The fifth point is use money to advance your cause. Your business should flourish because you managed to start it. All the resources that you get should advance your cause, and that is the business. I've noticed that once you have it, even those suppliers who didn't want to deal with you will even advance lines of credit to you. Money attracts a number of people around you. You also need to be careful, as bad friends bent on spending would also want to associate with you. Remember, money amplifies who you are. Remain steadfast. Use money to advance your cause. The sixth point that I want you to take note of is money given to the need is money invested. Generous hands are blessed because they give bread to the poor, says Proverbs 22 verse 9. How does this work? People give it to, if you just give money to people, how then can one be saying I'm investing? People give it to you. Will always be talking about you to whoever they met, those that you give money. More people begin to know you and your business better than before. You're actually investing towards brand awareness by giving to the needy. Never regret your acts of giving, because you will be doing yourself a very good favor and your business a very good one. So these are the 6 lessons that I wanted to share with you entrepreneurs that can help you manage your money better. They have worked for many, and they can also work for you. Thank you so much for listening. So greetings, Coach Vere, continuing to session 3 of the day that I've styled Money Lessons for Entrepreneurs. You understand that entrepreneurship entails handling a lot of money. That is, if you manage to do it very well. So you also need to know how do you handle money in business, which is a very important aspect to be known and learned. Entrepreneurs need money at the beginning of their journey in order to get more money in the entrepreneurship journey. What differentiates the successful ones from those that are not successful at times is the way they view money. I have talked about factors that affect entrepreneurship in my earlier sessions, and in this session I'm now focusing on this more sensitive issue in business, that is money. Some entrepreneurship endeavors flop before they even stretch their wings into the air, simply because of failure to understand how money works. So I've got certain important points that I'm going to highlight and explain that can help.